welcome back to the Bored Whovian YouTube channel, and today is day 12 of the 14 days of Doctor Who, so I've only got 2 left after this one, and yeah, we're getting towards the end. Feels a bit weird, but yeah, let's get on with it. So today I'm reviewing The Husbands of River Song. I've just finished watching it, and I'm pretty sure I have only watched this episode once before today, which was obviously on broadcast. I actually didn't even watch it live, I remember. I think I watched it on Boxing Day. But yeah, let's just go on with it. So the actual plot of the story, if I summarise it, I think it's actually quite wafer thin, I'm going to be completely honest. And the thing is, I don't know why, but I disliked it when I first watched it, and I came to like it over time as people talked about it without having to re-watch it. And now I've re-watched it, I've gone back to my original opinion upon not liking it, simply because I don't think there's a plot there. Because the plot is, there's some sort of ancient king, Hydroflax, his head gets removed, and his body is trying to get his head back the entire time. And it feels very much like an episode of the River Song show, and the Doctor's just kind of there in the background. I feel like I'm watching a live-action version of an episode of what probably happens in the Diary of River Song series, in Big Finish. And as someone who's not that big a fan of River Song as a character, yeah, this episode doesn't really impress me in any way. So yeah, the actual overall plot kind of lacks. Nardole, this is the bad Nardole we get, but Nardole's barely in it, but like he's just not really that funny, doesn't really benefit too much, don't really like him. I love Greg Davies as a comedian, and I think he does his bit in this story and is fine. He doesn't make it a great episode. Alex Kingston is fine in the episode, but I just kind of got sick and tired of River Song after series 6. So yeah, they do definitely have some chemistry, the Doctor and River Song, but you know, it takes us so long to realise it's the Doctor. I'm like, he just keeps telling her like, oh, a doctor, and I go, oh yes, you are a surgeon. I'm like, oh, you bloody idiot. Obviously it's explained that she doesn't think there could be another Doctor because she's thinking about the whole regeneration cycle. However, I'm not too sure how she would be aware of the regeneration in Soul on Earth, which limits his cycle, but who knows. This episode sets up Harmony Shoal, which is used in the next Christmas special, which I'll get onto tomorrow. And I think they're probably better used in that one. I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of this story. I'm looking at how far I am into this review, and I'm generally struggling to think I will make the 10-minute mark, as I don't think there's enough to talk about. Yeah, God, I'm struggling here. She has a sonic trowel, which I think is a bit funny, because you think back to Brian in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, who had a trowel, which is actually her granddad. Yeah, so it's kind of funny when you think about it that way. One moment which I do like in this episode is the scene where the Doctor enters the Tardis, and he's kind of, it's his companion moment to enter the Tardis, and he really just does it the way he thinks it should have always been done. Someone appreciating like the scientific implications of the Tardis being big on the inside, which is fantastic. And Capaldi absolutely is eating the scenery in that scene. He's loving every minute of it, and just it's such a great Doctor moment. As you know, it's the Doctor going, I'm really disappointed with how people have been reacting to this over the years. I'm gonna do the whole big on the inside thing justice, which is fantastic. And I do love Capaldi, but you know, this episode is one that I'd show people to explain why I love Peter Capaldi, but I don't like his era completely. You know, he does have poor episodes, which I do not like, and now I've watched this, I don't see myself rewatching this ever again. I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, moving on. I'm pretty confident the next 2 Christmas specials I will enjoy, because I remember enjoying them, but this one, yeah, not a big fan. The actual story, the actual plot is just, I don't know, I described it in 5 seconds. I was bored halfway through explaining it. That really sums it up. The last 15 minutes is fairly good, because that's when the Doctor and River is aware of the Doctor. That scene's actually very good. As just before, you know, she discovers it, she, you know, explains how the Doctor doesn't, you know, she doesn't think the Doctor loves her and everything, and you can see the Doctor's kind of ashamed of it. And then obviously she realises the Doctor is there, and she realises everything she's just said is completely wrong, and it's just quite sad to see the Doctor realise that she doesn't think he loves her, but everything that goes beyond that, them surviving the spaceship crash, and the use of time travel where the Doctor just transports the TARDIS from the exact same spot and uses the diamond in the episode to kind of create a restaurant around the Singing Towers of Jerusalem just so he can have his final date with a song is quite nice, as this is a thing which is mentioned in Science to the Library. We know this is the end point of their journey before the library, so it's a big thing which has always been hinted at. And that scene is nice. And the final moments between them is great because you get him giving her the Sonic, which we know has to happen. And, she's starting to realise this is their last moment together, which it isn't because of the library. But in chronological order, it's probably the Doctor's last meeting with her. Which is sad for him and sad for her. She's kind of realising it. But the thing which makes it better is the idea when the Doctor tells her that it's 24 years is one night with a Drillium. So they have 24 years together and then library. But it's just, I don't know, I'm looking at the time and I'm genuinely it's just not that great because I'm still struggling to talk about it. I mean, I do like some lines here, like the Doctor eventually says every Christmas is last Christmas, a reference to the special before it, but it's used again here because it's his last Christmas with River, if he's ever had one with her before. But that's really a nice little moment. And also the Doctor keeps saying that happy ever after doesn't exist, and River goes, no, you're wrong, happy ever after doesn't mean forever, it just means time, which is a really nice sentiment. But again, in a poor story which I don't really want to talk about. This is just quite bland Doctor Who. If you disagree with me, tell me why. If you like this episode, good. I'm glad that someone could find enjoyment out of something which doesn't provide me any joy. But yeah, this is just meh. If it wasn't Doctor Who, I would turn it off in 5 minutes. But it's Doctor Who, so I have to watch it. It doesn't feel like a Doctor Who episode. Genuinely, I don't feel like I was watching a Doctor Who episode where the Doctor, is saving someone, or you know what I mean. It just felt like an episode following River, and the Doctor was just there. That's what it feels like. That's why I don't like it that much. This is the complete opposite of why I go to Doctor Who for. The final shot is quite nice as you see the words, and they lived happily ever after, and everything slowly fades until it just says happily, and then that fades. But yeah, does not feel like Doctor Who at all. And I guess that is it. So, what would I score this out of 10? If I'm being completely honest, out of all the specials we've watched so far, I think this might be my least favourite. And I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Completely honest there. Maybe I'll give it a 4 and just say Doctor Wither and the Wardrobe is better. But yeah, this is probably the worst one, in my opinion. Just because I don't know it's just, I mean, look how long this review has taken. It's like, I've just finished watching it. I should have a lot to say, and I don't. Because I just don't think there's enough there to be said. But, yeah, that is all I've got to say on the matter. 3, 4 out of 10, something like that. So, yes, that's it. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you hate the episode? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my opinion? Comment below. If you liked this video, then please give the video a like. And if you want to see more content from me and you want to, actually be updated whenever I'm uploading, ding the bell for notifications and subscribe so you will see all my videos pop up in your feed. But yeah, there's not much else to say. I've also got my Instagram in the description below. But yeah, I've been the Bald Whovian, and I'll see you later. Merry Christmas.